All right, head coach Rob Talley, heading into week 10, last week of the regular season, believe it or not, tomorrow at Merrimack. Coach, last week, comfortable senior day win over Pace. Just kind of talk about what you've kind of drawn from that and, how things have shaken out after that, the win over Pace last week.
Well, the biggest thing we wanted to be able to do is, on offense, was establish the run, get our running game going, and we're definitely able to do that, and then take some shots from there. So we definitely able to get things done, and we had a little bit of a lapse early on. I think we had some plays there, and we just didn't take advantage of them. But we definitely came back from that, and when we had the ball for the most part, we were able to move it. We just didn't finish all things as well as I would like. But you're happy anytime you can put 42 points on the board versus anybody.
It certainly had some struggles and had to come back a bunch. How important was it to set the tone early, get a lead, and work from that aspect?
We talked about it. It was a big stress for us just to start fast. We didn't want to put ourselves in a situation. When you play a team like Pace, where on paper it says you should beat them, but that's why you play the game of football. But you give them a little more hope early on. They get a little confidence, and all of a sudden, then it's a tightly contested game. So we definitely wanted to, start fast. We were able to do that on both sides of football, and I think the defense played really well. And we gave up, a little bit of yardage early, but we were really able to hold on. And in the second half, we came up with some turnovers, which were huge.
Certainly. Logan Meyer had to lead the game. Things didn't look great, promising on Saturday. Since then, you've gotten some good news. And what's his progression been this week and heading into tomorrow?
I think it's gonna be good. I think he's pretty doubtful for tomorrow. But you never know. I haven't seen him yet today, so we'll see. We'll see how he feels today. But I think pretty doubtful for tomorrow. But we're hoping to have him back for next week. So initially, we got a report thinking, okay, he's done for the year. And then try to figure out what we were going to do. But right now it appears as if, worst case scenario, he'll be ready for next week.
So that brings in Joe Delavecchia. He's had, you've had some games where you've been able to get him in before Saturday. How is he? He seems like a guy who manages the game well. So I think from that aspect, you don't have to worry about that tomorrow if he's the one that has to go.
No, I think the biggest thing with Joe, and I've been saying it, he's not fazed by a lot. I think it goes to his personality where, and I think you want your quarterback like that. You don't want your quarterback worrying about it. First thing I asked him when I met with him early in the week was, are you ready for this? And it was a very affirmative yes. So he's looking forward to it, especially being a quarterback when only one guy gets to play all the time. And he's been a backup for 3 years now, so I think he's excited about his opportunity.
We had to talk with Justin Willis. He's one of your captains. Obviously had an injury early on. It's cost him his senior year. Talk about him and what he's still meant to the program and how he's stayed involved with the team.
I think what happens sometimes when you have a guy that gets injured early in the year, they kind of drift off, and especially sometimes when they're a senior, they get really involved in the academics, the job search. But Josh has been around. He's been around for every practice. Very emotional leader for us. Not afraid to speak up. We'll get guys on. Goes over to the running back drills all the time. Is helping Coach Abraham with his running back drill. So he's definitely a guy that we feel is a huge part of what we're doing here, and a big reason why we've been successful this season.
One outcome of Saturday, you guys were able to clinch a spot next week in the championship game for the first time in the school history. What's that meant to the team? What's been the buzz? I'm sure you've heard of a lot of alums and stuff like that. Having sewn that up, and obviously what it means to the team.
Well, I think it's a great position to be in. When you have one more game in regular season, knowing you're gonna be in a championship game. So from that standpoint, it's really nice. I think it's nice, for our players who have worked so hard and have pushed so long to get here. And I thought it was interesting. Brian Harrington is, a leader over on defense. After he lost the ASC game early in the season, he texted me and said, "Coach, I want to talk to the team." On Sunday, he got in front of the team and said, "Hey, we're not losing anymore. we can't lose anymore. We're going to get to the championship game, and I thought that was pretty neat for, once again, an underclassman just to step up and say, hey, we're going to do this. And so I think it's great for our players. Their fault. We've had so many injuries that it's almost mind-boggling to see how many freshmen involved in what we're doing, how many underclassmen involved in what we're doing. But everybody stepped up. So I think it's great from that side. I think it's great for our parents. One of the best parents group, I believe, in the country. They've been so supportive to everything we've done. So, for them to have this winning taste in their mouth, I think has been great. And then also for our alums. When I first got here, I said, we're gonna be successful because of what the people before us have done, and that's really playing its way out. So our alums can take a lot of pride in what we'll be able to get done so far this season. So we're excited about it. The thing we got to do though, it's nice to win a championship game, but we have a game tomorrow that against a very good football team. So we have to make sure we're ready for it.
Game tomorrow against a good football team. We're still playing to play for. I mean, certainly you have to figure AIC is a favorite against Southern Connecticut, but anything can happen if they lose and you win. You're going to have a chance to host the game. But then also there's that NCAA possibility at the end. I mean, just talk about that, how the teams kind of, keep the focus on how important this game is tomorrow. Well,
the way we see it and the way I've kind of spelled out the team, I don't think you're going to get into NCAAs with 3 losses. So if we lost this week and then we won the following week, I don't think we'd still get in. So we need to make sure, we need to win the next 2 games in order to make it to NCAAs, which is definitely one of our goals. So, and we'd like to finish the regular season, in first place, and with the possibility of getting a home game. So you never know what's going to happen, the AIC, and so we can't control that, but we can control, and so we need to put our best effort forward, as we said, against a very good football team.
But I mean, I think the thing to look at is a win tomorrow. No matter what happens next week, you're at least going to be regular season champions, which certainly is picked 7th. So that's something to look forward to.
To me, that's huge. And when we picked 7th, I definitely didn't think we deserved to be down that low. But in order to get to the top, you have to beat some of the teams you haven't beaten, and we've been able to do that this year. So. So to finish first, especially after being picked 7th, that would really be huge. That would be huge for our program. And once again, we'll talk about how far this program has come the last few years.
Just one last thing on NCAA possibility. When did that kind of become something that the team was kind of a goal of the team? Was it day one in preseason or in spring ball, or does that come along as the wins kind of come together?
I think every year. I mean, I think every year you think about going to the postseason, because every year our goal has been to win the conference championship, and then if you win the conference championship, you have a chance to go to NCAA. So I think it's been on our radar. I think we got guys probably started thinking about it a little bit more once we got a regional ranking. Once involved in that, so it's definitely something we're striving for, and it'd be great to. We talk about it's great to play 11 games, but it'd be great to play at 12. So something obviously we're looking forward to if we have that possibility. We know we can't necessarily control that aspect of it, but we can just control what we do tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Merrimack. Obviously, it starts with the quarterback, Joe Clancy, probably Player of the Year, favorite offensively in the league. Just talk about what they do and how he runs the ship over there.
Oh my goodness! Well, he's very talented. You can tell he definitely has a good grasp of what they're doing offensively. He run a lot of no huddle stuff, so I'm sure there's a good chance he's calling a lot of it. So he has a real good idea of where he wants to go. Does a great job of reading defenses. Has a great arm, and then he has a great supporting cast. I think last year, they had a really good receiver. That got the ball a lot, but now he really spreads the ball around to several different receivers. They have really two really good running backs, and if you think about the amount of times he's been sacked compared to the amount of times his pass attempts, it's really a small number. So the offensive line does a great job protecting him. So I think it all starts with them offensively. They're able to get rolling, they're able to get up on people, and then then defense is able to finish it off. So. You're not going to completely, to stop them. You want to slow them down. You need to come up with some turnovers. You need to be great in the red zone. in order to beat a team like Merrimack.
I think as a team where even if you were fortunate enough to get up a couple of scores, you can't. I mean, they could easily quickly turn that around.
I was watching the Oregon game last night, and it just reminded me a lot of Merrimack. Even though they were down by so much, you couldn't count them out of the game because they score so quickly. So, we'll definitely, just have to keep on playing. Defensive guys have to have a short memory if they do have some success, and then come back the next play and just keep on fighting. And the biggest things we can't do is we can't miss tackles. We can't give them big plays. We have to make them earn everything they get.
Defensively, just talk about them a little bit. I know they have a very good defensive end.
Very good football players. To be up front, they're very active. They're one all-conference kid at defensive end. They have another kid. They moved the defensive tackle last year. That he played defensive end. I think he'd been an all-conference kid. So two all-conference type kids at defensive end for them. Two just workhorses inside, and then on back end, just extremely athletic. They're both to their corners. They'll play dismount man. They'll play dismount press. They're not shy, and their linebackers get after you. So I think very attacking style defense. They're not afraid, and so what we have to do is we have to attack them, try to get them on their heels, and we have to be able to run the football, which not many people have been able to do. But in order for us to try to keep their offense off the field, we need to establish some kind of ground game and get first downs.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck tomorrow, and bring back at least one championship on the way after tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.